Hello, my name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about data privacy, transparency, and data sharing. A lot of people who give their data over to corporations have no clue what happens to their data once they give it to them, whether it's sold, what other companies are looking at this data, and those types of things. Apple is creating a capability in a release of their OS software. I think it's iOS 14, if I'm not mistaken. It's coming out in September. It will be quite game-changing related to privacy. Apple as a company has decided that privacy is a fundamental human right in terms of them and how they feel their philosophy is for their customer base. And as a result, they're rolling out some very interesting privacy capabilities that actually increase the transparency of how data is handled and how data is handled by apps that are on your phone. So a couple other things they're doing. One is to fix, not necessarily fix, but actually create transparency in a capability that has existed since iPhones have existed, which is the Clipboard functionality. So currently the Clipboard, if you copy data from one application to the other, it copies data on a clipboard so they can share it with another app. The issue is that in this capability, any app that can read your clipboard can see this information. So it can be something as innocuous as a flashlight application on your phone that may actually be reading your clipboard, even though you may not have pasted the information in that application. So this is obviously an issue, especially if you're copying and pasting things like personal photos or passwords and things like that. It's obviously helpful for things like tracking packages and stuff, where you have a tracking number from an email, for example, and the phone knows you're looking at UPS or FedEx. That's the reason why they have that capability. So what they're doing in this new version, they're going to alert you to applications that are reading your clipboard and have a choice for that. Also, Apple is adding some opt-in features, like you have to opt in to things like advertising tracking that's happening on mobile apps. So you did not have that capability before. It was more of like an opt-out, or just that you didn't download the app. So that is a new capability. Also, they're giving you the option to choose whether you have an app track your exact location or your approximate location. So that will be a choice that was not there before. I think one thing that people will notice, that they may be annoyed probably, because the phone is going to be asking them a lot of questions about them opting in or opting out of different things. So you have more choices in that way, and probably more notifications in some way, shape, or form. But I think that this is a good step forward for Apple, and I hope other companies follow suit, so that people at least have some visibility into how their data is being used or moved around. Marketing companies are very concerned about this feature because it could greatly reduce the value of the data that they have. Keep in mind that the more data you have about someone, the more valuable it is. So the less data collection, especially if people are opting out or not opting in to these capabilities, could be quite devastating to marketing folks as things stand right now. But I think the way of the world is that transparency is the way that companies should be operating, and that's what customers will expect. So we'll see how these companies really take hold of being able to be more transparent in their data collection, so that consumers can be more informed about the products and services that they use. That's it. Thank you.